Does your disability make it unsafe to perform some of the daily living functions? Is it too risky to perform some activities on your own? If you need help or assistance to keep you safe, you can score 4 or more points on one daily living descriptor. That's a boost for any review, but it's mega important if the recently announced government changes come into force, which mean that in order to be eligible for the daily living component, a claimant must score at least 4 points in one of the daily living activities. This video looks at how assessors are instructed to award points when it comes to safety. The places in which a claimant may score 4 points will be highlighted and explained. The video is in 3 segments. 1. Where safety fits into the overall assessment structure. 2. What the Assessor's handbook says about safety. And 3. How you can ensure that you get your points if you are not safe. When assessors are awarding points under the descriptors, they are required to apply the STAR system. The system concerns reliability. How reliably can the claimant perform the daily living tasks and the mobility functions? When determining the answer to that question, the assessor must consider 4 things. Can the claimant perform the activity safely? Can they do it in a timely fashion, or are they too slow? Can they perform the function acceptably, which means to a proper standard? Can they perform the function repeatedly, which means as often as is required? This video deals with safely. The other aspects will be discussed in other videos. According to the Assessor's handbook, safely means that you can perform a function in a manner unlikely to cause harm to yourself or to another person, either during or after completion of the activity. The Assessor's handbook gives some examples of the type of activity that the assessor must consider is unsafe for each of the separate descriptors. It's worth taking time to go through some of them, so here goes. When it comes to the descriptor about preparing food, the examples are as follows. Fire, as a result of not understanding how to use an electrical appliance or gas hob correctly. Increased risk of cutting oneself or another person as a result of a health condition or impairment. Burning or scalding oneself if, for example, an individual is likely to drop a saucepan or spill the contents. Remember, you can score 4 points when you can demonstrate that you need the assistance of another person to help you avoid these risks. You can still score 4 points if you're single and live alone, because it's about the help that you need, not the help that you actually get. Let's look at some more descriptors. For example, managing therapy and monitoring a health condition. Taking too little medication, forgetting to take medication, or not taking the correct medication at the right time due to a health condition or impairment. Failure to carry out therapy, which is likely to lead to a significant deterioration of an individual's health condition as a result. For washing and bathing, falling or slipping, which causes injury to the claimant, will score 3 points if the claimant needs assistance to get in and out of the bath or shower, or 8 points if the assessor decides that the claimant cannot wash or bathe at all. If the claimant needs the assistance of another person because they fall or slip when getting on and off the toilet, it's 4 points. If the way that points are awarded doesn't sound sensible, it's because it isn't. What's happening is the government is currently attempting to change the way the descriptors are scored, but without changing the way the descriptors are worded. And the final result is messy, to say the least. I can only tell you the law as it currently stands, but the descriptors may be changed before the new law comes into force, so keep an eye out for that. Let's get back to what the Assessor's Handbook says about safety. The handbook gives examples of other dangers to mitigate, and some of them can potentially score 4 points. Do you need help to prevent sickness or infection due to an inability to maintain personal hygiene? Do you need help due to not being able to hear a standard fire alarm? Of course, the Assessor's Handbook doesn't describe every potential safety issue. You will need to think carefully about whether your health condition creates any dangers when you're performing the tasks outlined by the descriptors. So then, how can you get your points if your health condition makes things unsafe? First, explain why your disability makes an activity dangerous. You will only get 4 points if you can't perform the activity alone. So clearly explain why you need assistance from another person. Use examples to support what you say. Don't forget to think about danger to other people. Make sure that you tie the danger to your health condition. And finally, it's probably best to make it clear to the assessor that you are claiming a safety issue. Don't leave the assessor to guess what you want and expect. I wish you all the very best for your PIP assessment.